Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ziprecruiter.com/zip. That's ziprecruiter.com/zip. ziprecruiter.com/zip.
Did I put the clothes in the dryer? I hope they don't think I was serious.
I need to be
about
awake.
that.
Snacks.
I forgot my brain
Snacks.
shut
Just
off.
sleep already.
When your racing thoughts keep you up at night, it's tough to let go and get the rest you need. Better sleep can help. You might have heard of white or brown noise, but there's a whole rainbow of color noises, and they can help you calm your mind, reduce stress, and sleep better, like the green noise you're listening to now. With the Better Sleep app, you can discover more color noises and over 200 soothing sounds, guided meditations, and bedtime stories. High-quality rest is vital to your mental well-being and physical health. Calm your restless mind, conquer your day, and sleep better at night. Download Better Sleep from the App Store or Google Play and start a 7-day trial today. Because when you sleep better, you feel better.
Hello and welcome to Jump In with Jonathan. I am your host, Jonathan Smith. I want to take a moment and say thank you for all the likes, the shares, the downloads, and everything that you guys do to help support the podcast. I do not take it for granted. I am blessed each and every week when I pull up and look at the statistics of the podcast to see where the podcast is being downloaded, to see how many downloads we have. I am very grateful for all of you guys. I wanted to sit down today and talk to you about Jump In with Jonathan and what is the purpose of the podcast, what is the goals of the podcast, and where the podcast will be going. As most of you know, I am the host of another podcast called Just the Bible Will Do podcast. It is a podcast that I upload sermons that I preach each and every week. Also, it is a podcast where we also sit down and discuss variety of Bible topics, Bible doctrine. We do interviews with other preachers, pastors, missionaries, different things like that. And so I wanted to start another podcast that I would say is more of a secular podcast so that I could reach a wider base with a great message. So, who is Jonathan Smith? I am Jonathan Smith. If you have not gathered that by now, I pastor a Community Baptist Church in Mooresville, North Carolina. I have been pastoring there for 8 years now. I'm very blessed with a great congregation of people. I'm married. I have two daughters, a son, and I've got a son on the way. My oldest daughter is 14. My middle child is 9. My third child is 5. His name is Samuel, and I've got baby Brexton on the way. So very grateful for my family. My family is my top priority, followed by church, and followed by whatever else I get into throughout the week. And I have been a Christian since 1999. Christianity is not something that you are born into, but it is a decision of accepting Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior. And I'm very grateful for all that God has done for me in my life. I have been preaching the gospel since uh, 2006, 2007, somewhere right in there. I remember God calling me to preach, and very grateful for that calling. It's a calling that I never dreamed that I would have the opportunity to do, but I'm glad that I have accepted that calling. It is one of the most rewarding callings of my life, and I'm very grateful for that. So I started this podcast, Jump In with Jonathan, because I like to discuss more than just the Bible. I like to do more than preach. I like to talk about sports. I like to talk about politics. I like to talk about today's events. I like to talk about multiple things going on around the world. I like to talk about issues going on in the churches. I like to talk about all of these different things. And I thought that it would be very important if we started a secondary podcast that will come out. I'm hoping to help it come out at least 5 days a week, if not 7 days a week, and be able to talk and communicate with you guys each and every week. I do have a big show coming up in a couple of weeks. I will be going to San Francisco, California in a couple of weeks and sitting down with the Enemies Project, and we will be discussing a variety of topics with them. Looking forward to that. If you have not heard of the Enemies Project, let me encourage you go over to YouTube and type in the Enemies Project. It is a non-biased platform that gives us the opportunity from both sides, whether you're conservative or whether you're liberal, to sit down and to discuss your values, your faith, your values, why you believe in what you believe in. And at the end of the day, what the Enemies Project does, it shows the humanity, even though that we disagree with each other, we both can walk away and still be human. That is one of the problems that we have today, is that we've got some Republicans that think if you're a Democrat that you're a piece of trash, and we got some Democrats that think if you're a Republican you're a piece of trash. Unfortunately today, that's not the way that we should be. God didn't tell us if we're Republicans to love Republicans as ourselves, or if we are Democrats to love Democrats as ourselves, or if we're independents to love independents as ourselves. The Bible tells us to love our neighbor as ourselves. Who is our neighbor? That's every man, woman, boy, and girl that you and I come in contact with each and every day. We are to love them the way that Christ loves us and gave himself for us. Today, I am proud to be an American. I am proud to live in a country that is the greatest country on earth. I am very disappointed in those who want to take America down a socialistic path. I'm very disappointed in those who burn our flag, who spit in the face of our police officers, who spit in the face of our military, who disrespect the office of the presidency and the senators and the congressmen on both sides of the aisle. I'm very disappointed with all of these things going on in the world, but what I am grateful for is that God allowed me to be born in a country and be in a country where I have freedom of speech, freedom to vote, freedom to do basically whatever I want to do as long as it's within inside of the law. You and I today do not need to take being Americans for granted. But you and I today, as Americans, should give thanks to God each and every day that we are born an American. So, as we go through the podcast, we're going to hear a variety of topics discussed. Whether I invite a liberal person to come on, whether I invite a conservative person to come on, whether I invite a marriage counselor to come on, whether I invite a pastor to come on, whether I invite an atheist to come on, it will not matter. I'm going to plan on inviting numerous people to come on the podcast, and we're going to sit down and we're going to have a friendly conversation about what we believe, why we believe it, how we overcome these obstacles in hating each other as what we call so called Americans. Also, I want this podcast to reach around the world to show people that there is people out here who still love their country. There is still people out here who still care for what's going on around them. I want this podcast to be a podcast of love, that any man, woman, boy, or girl that tunes in knows that the host of this podcast loves them and cares for them. I want this podcast to be a messaging point around the world, that you know that it's not going to be based off of biased opinion or just facts that make us look good or facts that make us feel good. But when you listen into this podcast, you will hear the truth. If I have a guest come on this podcast and I disagree with something they say, I'm going to be upfront and tell them that I disagree with them. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to be their friend and still be grateful that they came on the podcast. Also, in this podcast, we will talk about different types of music. I love different types of music, and I know that this doesn't fit well in the church world, but I love country music. I love Christian gospel music. I love Southern gospel music. I love Southern rock. Um, I love practically all types of music. I'm very grateful for the music. I'm very grateful for the talent that God gives every man to be able to play and sing music, or every woman that God gives them the talent to be able to play and sing music each and every day. And so we're going to have a variety of different things go on in this podcast. You say, hey, I would like to be a supporter of the podcast. You can do that. Feel free to email me at pastorsmith387@gmail.com. Let me know that you want to be a supporter. I can point you in the right direction of that. You say, hey, I may not want to be a supporter, but I'd like to be a sponsor of the podcast. I have a company that would love to sponsor the podcast, or I know of a company that would love to sponsor the podcast. Again, tell them to shoot me an email, pastorsmith387@gmail.com. I'm very grateful that you guys have given me another platform to be able to tell the truth on. And I'm glad that this time it's not all just Christianity, but we can discuss secular things as well. Thank you so very much again for listening to the podcast. I'm very grateful for each and every one of you. If you love listening to this podcast, please feel free to share it, send it out to your friends, send it out to your family, send it out to everyone that you come in contact with. If you come across this podcast on YouTube, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, if you come across this podcast on Facebook, feel free to share the podcast. I appreciate it. Guys, I cannot do this without you. And thank you so very much for all that you guys do for the podcast. Again, this podcast will be released at least 5 days a week, maybe 7. But for right now, it's going to be a podcast that is released 5 episodes per week. And I look forward to talking about all of the different topics. I look forward to being able to sit down and have different interviews and different things throughout the podcast here. And I can't wait to see where this road goes. Again, thank you so much for listening to Jump In with Jonathan. If there's a topic you would like to discuss, feel free, shoot me an email, pastorsmith387@gmail.com. Jump in. Don't be afraid. We'll have a good time. Have a great day. God bless.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ziprecruiter.com/zip. That's ziprecruiter.com/zip. ziprecruiter.com/zip.
Did I put the clothes in the dryer? I hope they don't think I was
I
serious
need to be
about
awake
that.
in
Snacks.
3
I forgot my
hours.
brain
Just
shut off.
sleep already.
When your racing thoughts keep you up at night, it's tough to let go and get the rest you need. Better sleep can help. You might have heard of white or brown noise. There's a whole rainbow of color noises, and they can help you calm your mind, reduce stress, and sleep better, like the green noise you're listening to now. With the Better Sleep app, you can discover more color noises and over 200 soothing sounds, guided meditations, and bedtime stories. High-quality rest is vital to your mental well-being and physical health. Calm your restless mind, conquer your day, and sleep better at night. Download Better Sleep from the App Store or Google Play and start a 7-day trial today. Because when you sleep better, you feel better.